Hey guys, you're watching Flow, and this is another tutorial from me, Livewire. Another handstand one, of course. It's going to be the Hollowback tutorial this time. One of the most advanced of all handstand movements is the Hollowback, the ability to be in a handstand while completely inverted, like a bridge almost, but with your feet hovering off the floor. It takes a lot of strength, not as much flexibility as people often think. I'm not that flexible in my shoulders or my back. It's kind of the tension that holds me in this position. But if you are flexible, you're able to get a deeper position in the Hollowback. Anyway, we're going to start off with a warm-up, because it's very important to warm up for a Hollowback. It's a lot of tension throughout the body in a position that it's really not used to holding. So it's very important that you warm up the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and the most important structure to warm up is the spine. There's a lot of weight from your upper spine all the way to your lower spine as you're hanging there in the Hollowback position. So it's really important that you do a thorough warm-up with this, otherwise you're going to pull some muscles, maybe pull some joints out of place. Start off with swinging the arms forwards and backwards to warm up the shoulders. It's really important if you want to be able to get a deep position in the Hollowback that you get these shoulders nice and warm and the blood pumping around them so that they're ready to take the stress. We're going to continue warming up the shoulders, but also add some tricep in there by pulling your arms across our chest. Lock your elbow into your forearm with the other hand and pull that out while pulling backwards with your shoulder to stretch out the shoulder and the tricep. After this, we're going to put our arms behind the head, one at a time. Again, this is another one to get a bit deeper in the shoulders and into the latimus dorsi. This gets worked a lot in the Hollowback, so you want to really stretch this out. And of course, as with any handstand trick, it's important and fundamental that you warm up your wrists. So we're going to start with our forearms together, palms together, rotate some figure of 8 and back the other way. We're going to go to the floor, rock forward on our hands, rock side to sides, and then point our fingers towards our knees and drop our shoulders towards our hips. Get some tension in there. After this, the most important part of your body to warm up with the Hollowback, because it gets the most stress in a position that it's really not used to. Even when you do normal handstands, you don't work these muscles as much as you're about to in the Hollowback. That's why it's fundamental right now that you warm up the back properly. And to warm up the back properly, we're going to do back bends, but in 3 different positions, so that gravity works 3 different ways to prepare you as much as possible. I'm going to start things off with a standing back bend to warm up the lower back as much as possible. It's okay to do soft bounces as you slowly get further and further into the back bend. Then we're going to do an up dog, as they call it in yoga, or a cobra pose, where you have your toes on the floor and your hands near your hips and you push your chest. It's also important to warm up your abs in this position, so make sure you do feel the ab stretch. And the third type of back bend is a bridge. As you can see, my bridge is not very flexible at all, and yet I can still do a Hollowback. So it's not about flexibility, as I first said. It's important to push on your toes, get your shoulders as far over your wrists as you can to get that pressure in the upper back, and start preparing yourself, because now you're about to try the Hollowback. Before trying a Hollowback, you should have a pretty comfortable handstand and also be pretty confident, feeling comfortable in the bridge position. To start a Hollowback, you have to go into a normal handstand, eyes looking between your hands. Then you have to drop into what I call a capoeira handstand, where you put your ears between your shoulders and you look towards the horizon. This is the start of the Hollowback, and you should be comfortable balancing in this position for 15-20 seconds before maybe you try a Hollowback. Now we try the Hollowback. You start by leading with your heels and dropping them towards the floor. But as you do this, you push your chest forward and move the weight from your fingertips slowly down into your palm until you find it in the heel of your hand. This is how you hold the Hollowback position. If you just go with your legs, you're going to drop to the floor. If you just go with your chest, you're going to come back to your feet standing up. Remember, get the weight in the heels of your hands, not in the fingertips. You can use the tips of your fingertips to keep you gripped and balanced there, but you'll find that the weight is in your heel. Really try to push through your chest. It might be easier for you if you start with your arms slightly wider than in a normal handstand, then you get deeper into the shoulders with the Hollowback. As you'll see in my Hollowback, I like to lead with one leg. This way it's easier to balance as you keep the center of gravity with the other leg that's bent closer to the center of your body. It may also benefit you to practice against the wall, doing a handstand, looking through with your head, walking your hands out, and then slowly dropping your feet, and find that tipping point where you can tap your toe away and still remain balanced, and get used to how it should feel with the weight on your heel of your hand and the deep bend in the shoulders. The way I learned to Hollowback was I saw a video of an Australian breakdancer doing a Hollowback, and I filmed myself from side on of me doing a Hollowback, and then compared the two until I could see where my balance was and what little adjustments I needed to make to match his position. If you think you're ready to try a Hollowback, you should be comfortable falling out of a handstand every which way. When it comes to falling out of a Hollowback, there are only really 2 ways you can do it. If you overreach with your chest, you're going to come back down to feet, or if you overreach with your heels, normally you just drop to your feet and then you can lower yourself to your bum and come out, or catch it in a bridge, flick back with a walkover, or twist out. Generally, if you're landing any heavier than that, then you're not ready to do a Hollowback as it is. So maybe test yourself on some grass or carpet or against the wall to build up to that level. Remember, this position can cause a lot of stress to your body. If you're not conditioned for it, it could be a lot of weight on joints that aren't used to it. So it's important to practice safely and maybe build up to it, or just listen to your body. That's the most important thing. I can give you all the advice in the world, but you have to listen to your body because it's yours and everyone's unique. The main advice for Hollowback, as I already covered, if you are failing, do this 3 checklist. You lead with your heels, which is what most people do, then they forget this part. Push your chest forward, really try and drive your chest through. If you're doing that, then you feel the weight shift from your fingertips to the heel of your hands. And when you film yourself, you see a nice even line with your heels, your shoulders, and your hands out here. Center of balance in the middle. Perfect Hollowback. Thanks for watching another tutorial on flow with me, your boy Livewire. This time it was the Hollowback. I hope you wanted to learn that, and hopefully you've got some advice in there that you didn't know that you can take away and go practice and master the Hollowback. Just like me, just a little kid, excited to learn some cool tricks and learn to use your body in different ways, but make it your own, do different positions with your legs. I lead with the 1 leg, you could try 2 legs together, cross-legged. There's all sorts of craziness to be got out there. Have fun with it. Much love as always. Subscribe to Flow. Peace.